So now we're looking at Eversame USB power meter tester. The description says voltmeter, ammeter, load tester, voltage and current monitor with braided C to C cable, which is what we're actually using. It's a 50 centimeter cable. And this one says you can test the cable speed. And then it says power delivery, PD 2.0, 3.0, QC 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. So let's take a look through the screens. And what we're seeing here is, as we would expect, 5 volts and about half an amp with the 10 ohm constant load on it. This one, like the other one, gives you the CPU temperature. The other one actually did too. This one's a little bit bigger unit. And the screen's much bigger, much easier to read, and it gives you milliamp hours, milliwatt hours, calculates the load resistance, and it's giving you watts. So this one has 4 buttons, and I'm going to use this one under the next, and let's see what the other screens can do. Okay, so this one changed, and now it's giving us, again, the same 5 volts and 5 amps, and this one is looking at, I'm assuming those are the data lines because you can see them changing. They seem to be changing together. Okay, so now we're looking at the milliamp hours, milliwatt hours, and the time that it's been on. Next screen, looks like you can do 2 channels with this one. You can see the channel 1 is flashing. That's the one I'm using, and channel 2 is not in service. Okay, so we've got voltage and current, and this one is showing 5.5 volts, which seems a little high. And then it's showing 4.69 volts, but then it shows current. And those readings are not what I would have expected, but there may be a reason for that. Okay, now we're looking at the data lines, and look at that. You can see the data lines are switching. Even with a constant load, what I've got connected to the load is a set of dip switches that allows you to change the output voltage of the source if it's capable of doing that. Type C certainly is. The power banks tend to run 5 volts, 9 volts, and 12 volts. Some of the line-powered chargers will also do 20 volts if they can, and you can use that to charge a laptop. And you got some settings. Let's go, and the display also shuts off. I guess that can also be for let it record. Let's go back to those settings. Again, we've got this one button, but there are other buttons. We'll have to try them. Okay, so now if I use another button, let's see what happens if I use this button on the top. That didn't do anything. There's another button over here. Let's see what that does. Also on the top on the left. That didn't do anything. What if I hit the one that says help? Long press to turn the screen to the left or right. That's interesting. So let's do that. Let's see what it does. Hold for settings. These are based on the appropriate button. So let's try this one over here and see what that does. Oh, there we go. That turned it 90 degrees. So this one can go doing 90 degrees. And it went back. What happens if I do this other button? That turns it to the left, or turns it to the right. And let's hold it again, and that brings it back. So you can rotate this in 4 orientations, which is very useful. Okay, let's hit the next button, see where that takes us. How do we get out of this? Okay, so now we're out of it. Now we've got a timer. I guess it's a timer. I'm not quite sure. Let's play with the buttons, see what it does. Well, we've been there before. So how do we get to... Okay, that just changed the timer to 6 minutes. What happens if we hold it? If you hold it, now we have a brightness control. Let's see what that does. Oh, there we go. You can see the brightness change. That's clever if you're in sunlight or dark places. Let's go back to number 5. Display off. There we go. And it came back to the original screen. So this one's got a few other features. I like that you can rotate the display in 4 directions rather than 2. That's also very useful depending on if you're plugging this into a line-powered charger, and depending on the orientation, you don't have to turn your head left, right, or try to read it upside down. So this button over here, which is on the upper left as I'm looking at it, has another function. Hold the button and turn on the power. And it comes up in Chinese. A little hard to see, but it's there. See if we can do that. There we go. Okay, we need to get that back to English. And you release it when English comes on, and we are back in English. How about that?